All-time heroes, Spike Milligan.
Hello. This is Robert Newman. I'm just driving down to Spike Milligan's house in Rye. I've just been driven down on the motorway, and I'm sort of wary about the interview with Spike Milligan, partly because whenever you meet your heroes, they often can let you down, or they've got a power to hurt. What I want to happen when we meet is that he looks deep into my eyes, recognises some fellow spirit, and says, now I can die in peace, knowing that the arc of the covenant of comedy is alive, my child. The flip side of that is that I know that, like me, he shares a down on a lot of the prevailing comedy establishment, but I'm frightened that he might lump me in with that, a ghastly new comedy. So either way, I think that the interview will either stand or fall on the fact that the two of us are the two most mentally ill people in British show business.
You've come, first of all, what's your full name? Think hard now.
Robert Terence Allen Milligan Newman. I never met my father.
Good God, I'm a fake.
Look, I'll come to interview, make the tea, and I'll be in there in about 5 minutes.
Right. Actually, my tea making is long. It's 3 days. You just sit down and wait.
Okay.
Yeah. Darling, put on the bath.
This looks like a marvellous spread.
Yes, these round tea bags now.
Yeah.
And I bought some, and I wrote, and I said, I bought these round tea bags, but they don't taste any different from the square ones.
Did they reply?
They didn't know what to do. They said, thank you very much for your letter, and they sent me a big box of round ones.
Mm.
So I wrote them again. It's amazing they've got no sense of humour. None at all. I wrote them again. I said, by the way, do you know those 4 corners you've clipped off? To make it down. What do you do with those 4 corners? Thank you very much for your letter. Back comes another box. They've got no sense of humour. Can you imagine one of these awful boardroom people that are up there talking all the time? Oh, just thank him. Just send him a box. Oh, for a funny letter.
What have you been doing lately?
I haven't been doing anything lately.
No,
You've got a hell of an answer. No, well, I just finished writing a comedy version of the Bible. Yeah, I thought it was so terrible.
It needed to be done.
The book is it's a terrible book, the Old Testament. It's appallingly
nasty.
Boring. You know?
Also nasty.
And that's why people who read it are boring.
Yeah.
It's catchy.
They are the most boring dressers as well, people that like the
I wore an
evangelical.
anti-Boer and anti-inflammatory Bible suit when I was translating there. God said, let there be land, and lo, there was land, and it went on the market £1,000 square foot. And God said, let there be grass.
I'd love to read some of that.
Well, you will, yes, come out here.
You can't slip.
I want to become the Salman Rushdie of the Catholic faith. And I want the Pope to put a fatwa on me.
Do you have any religion?
Yeah, I'm a Catholic. I was brought up a Catholic, and I'm a Catholic. Sometimes I go to church. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't believe in God. That stopped the world.
Yes, yeah.
Very strange, yes. I
thought that was a prerequisite for being a Catholic, not believing in God.
You can't. I can't help. Sorry, teacher. I can't help being a Catholic. It's like that. I liked the thought of Jesus. I thought he was sort of okay. I was brought up by the Jesuits, and they were okay. They were very revealing. When you first started to play with yourself as a boy, it used to worry, like it worries all boys. And I went to Father Theophilus, and I said, do you ever think of women? And he said, all the time. So that helped.
Just one thing I identified with you in the books is You seem to suffer a lot from lust.
Sexual lust.
Sexual, you seem to lust a lot, and I lust a lot for women as well. And does that ease off as you get older or not? Does it? As you still?
Yes, you stop doing it altogether.
But do you,
in fact, sometimes you wonder where it is.
And mentally, it doesn't. It stops being the preoccupation. Mentally, it's not painful to see. I thought it was brilliant when you described it, seeing that Italian woman and just going, and every detail of the description of her, you put in brackets ARGGGHHH.
Well, it was.
So brilliant. And I suppose that stops being that painful. Does it?
Well, sex with someone you love is it's almost mysterious. Wild sex, banging away with some bird in the doorway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mysterious.
It's all. That's just damn dangerous.
What caused that? Oh, blimey. God telling you your groin's full off for a reason there.
You wouldn't believe that I actually love the sound of thunder.
I love the sound of rain as well. It's because I get very pent up before it rains. And when it rains, I'm like that. In the wasteland.
You're a child of nature, my boy.
I am a son of Mother Nature. There was one interview I read of yours where
I don't know really what you do. Are you an interviewer?
No, I'm a stand-up comedian.
You are?
Well, I did a TV show.
Have you played the Comedy Store?
No, they don't book me there. But I've played Hammersmith Odeon.
Hammersmith Odeon?
Yeah, played that, and I'm doing 2 nights there in
December.
December.
Do you do that with rock groups coming on?
Just on my own.
On your own?
Yeah.
Are you famous?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have brought the better crockery out if I'd have known this.
I'll send you a video or something.
I'll send you the video of the crockery that we... What is this, man? Must have gone down.
Doing very well. And it's become like King Lear now. It's the storm scene with the mad old king. So, what brings you to this desolate part of the heath, sir?
Never mind, now just grab this oar and row for the shore.
Mr. Milligan has fallen hard times and lives in a corrugated iron shack at the bottom of a reservoir.
It's a complete lie. This is an effects record they're playing in the background. In fact, it's a bright, hot, sunny day. Anyhow, they've turned it off right away. It's a giveaway here.
Yeah. When was the last time you were on stage?
This is a long pause. I played the clown in pantomime at Tunbridge Wells.
Recently, yeah?
The year before last.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you haven't done any since?
Had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah?
Well, I became very, very ill, and suddenly lots of things stopped. Like I stopped being able to write music, and I stopped being able to draw or paint. And I gradually came out of it, and then they offered me to go to play in the pantomime at Hackney Empire.
Yeah.
And I was too frightened to go. So something is burnt out in me somewhere. I think it's my knee.
You feel frightened to go on stage, yeah? Or?
Lost my nerve.
Yeah. Did you like R.D. Laing? Did you ever meet him, or did you like him?
Who?
R.D. Laing. Did you read anything about him?
No, I'm being a load of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Madness is madness. Nobody can tell you why. You can write as many books as you like about it. And nobody can categorize madness. You say, he's mad. Say, all right, how? How is he mad? Show me where it's mad. Show me the bit that's mad. Show it to me. Oh, there's all of the twee ones. There's a madness of the truth.
Yeah, I hate all that.
It's a rather pointless exercise. Like these jokers who go to Africa and they get a PhD studying the habits of a pride of lions. They study it and they write a book on it without any real depth to it. All they want is the PhD.
Yeah.
But the lions have not been affected one bit by this huge book. They've just gone on as they are. Theories on something basic, like writing a book on madness, it really doesn't stop the madness. You don't get anywhere. You don't get anywhere.
You were saying in some interview that if you, being a manic depressive,
Yeah.
if you get too high, then you get too low. And so you were trying to, so the lows weren't so bad. You said to this interviewer, you were trying to control not getting too, you know, high and that, and trying to sort of, with the use of sleeping drafts and whatever, just stay in some sort of middle territory.
I have a sleeping draft, and I wake it up every night and take it.
Do you find the swings are less violent, less up and down?
No, I have had a very bad time. It's like pull the blinds on your emotions, switch off your face, put your love into neutral, this way to the human race. That's about how I feel it. Or like Sir Walter Raleigh, not the original.
Who wrote that little thing?
I wrote that.
That's very nice.
And Sir Walter Raleigh interpreted that in a much funnier way. He said, I wish I loved the human race. I wish I loved its stupid face. And when I stood and talked to one, I thought, oh, what jolly fun.
You have to forgive me because I'm not an interviewer if I'm sort of leap clumsily from new paragraph heading to new paragraph heading, and then they go nowhere. But
you're doing well. You're an editor's dream.
Costing the world a lot of sellotape.
Who's
what?
Tell me.
What? I'm just teeing up a question here. What?
What?
No, go on.
What question is that? Oh, he's queuing up a what?
Do you go down to Bexhill ever?
Only when we have dinner with D Battery, the reunion.
Yes, yeah.
The numbers are sadly down now. Even my number is sadly down. I miss some of the boys who died. Some of my best friends have died. Recently, it's important to say that Jack Shapiro died. Who was Jack Shapiro?
I know, who's in the book?
Yeah.
Yep.
Jack Shapiro is the man who was lying next to me on the hillside of North Africa. It's our first day in action. Suddenly, these Stukas came out of the sky and started a bomb. It was pretty frightening. And he looked at me and said, are we insured against this sort of... Oh my God, that's marvellous.
You seem to get the best out of people. When I read the books, I'm sort of jealous that, because I don't think you are a misanthrope in those books, and I think I am, because I'm too crabby to get that much out of people. But you're in a world in which people are saying witty and things, and there's all these characters and everything. I think I haven't lived in that world. Do you think about death much?
Yes.
Your own death?
Well, I haven't actually had it yet, but...
Have you planned?
No. Well, when I don't feel really well, I think, what will I do to encourage it? So what I do is, I wait for a good day. And I go out into a field, and I lay a shovel beside me to see what happens. He's laughing, folks. Serious stuff is easier to absorb.
Absolutely.
Comedy, you have to have a twist in your mind.
Yeah. Do you think that's it?
Yeah, well, you can sometimes lead them by taking something classical. Like I start off, I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats aloft o'er dale and hills, and all at once I came upon my dog being sick on the daffodils. They all stay lovely because they're very disappointed when they come. Like there's another one, like we have cracked the midnight glass.
But they're not disappointed. That's when they start laughing.
No, they don't. It takes them a while. There's some of them are taken over by the classicism, and I'm not warm to it. When you come to this punchline and the dog being sick on their nose, it's a sort of there's some idiots say, oh, that's a cheat. Doesn't go like that, does it, Harry? No. Terrible that was. Yeah. That's how they go. I wrote one. So somebody shouted out, disgusting. The poem I wrote, what was it? We have cracked the midnight glass and loosed the racketing star-crazed night into the room. The blind harp sings in the late firelight, and your hand is decked with white promises. What wine is this? There's a squirrel chasing in my glass. Good God, I'm pissed. Somebody shouted out, disgusting! That was the at the Edinburgh Festival. Are you really a comic?
Mm-hmm.
I think you are, but you sound like Steve Smith.
Who on earth is he?
Steve Smith, he's the one who said, I'm not frightened of heights, I'm frightened of width.
You're thinking of someone else. I know who you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Stephen Wright. He's American,
Wright,
a bull, but he's got like a beard, and he does all that stuff about...
That man is funny.
He's up your surreal street, isn't he?
That man is funny.
My favourite one of his is I played poker with some tarot cards. I got a full house and 8 people died. It's brilliant. But it also...
Superb. But the best one for me is, he said, I know when I'm going to die. There's an expiry date on my birth certificate.
That's brilliant.
He's sacred to me, that man. His stories are so original. Certainly turns out some of the funniest lines I've ever heard in my life.
Have you seen him live?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did you see him?
I saw him at the Donmar warehouse.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Did you talk to him after?
No, I didn't. I thought he was too clever.
Yeah.
No, I just thought I'd leave him alone.
Who was the funniest person you ever saw?
Sid Collins.
A friend of yours?
He's in my battery. His brain hurt.
Right.
My brain hurts when I think he was just funny. No,
like interruptively funny. Funny. Yeah, sure. But that's what a lot of people say. Oh, the Spike Milligan tradition. You can see that in the absurdist stuff of Python and Vic Reeves and all that. But what they lack that your absurd humour has, and what Stephen Wright's absurd humour has, is that there's a sort of meaning to it as well.
Well, I was fed up with dirty jokes. To me, here's an example. It's never get to the television screen because they don't want to know about it. But there's an auction going on at Christie's, and there's a Ming vase. And the auctioneer says, we have come up to lot number 349, a Ming vase with a reserve price of £1,000. Now, what do I hear? The boy says, you can hear the taxis in Bond Street. He says, the taxis in Bond Street. The offer is the taxis in Bond Street. Any advance on that? Yes. I can hear 139 buses going up Lewisham Hill. 139 buses up Lewisham Hill. And you'd find that, yes, I can hear cross-channel steamers going from Dover to Kelly. Cross-channel steamers, the answer sold to the cross-channel ferry in Kelly. You see, there's no joke there at all.
No, it's beautiful.
It's based upon an idea.
Yeah.
That's where there's no dirt.
Yeah.
Just an idea. No joke there at all.
Mm.
That's what I like, you know.
I like that. Well, I think it's funny. You should come and form that with us, you know.
And
if you get over your nerve and that. It's almost like, I always think there is an analogy between...
I'm boasting now, aren't I? I'm tossing off my idea of comedy.
But no.
Didn't mean to.
No, you're not, it's not boasting. I think there's an analogy between comedy and poetry. Poetry and comedy are particularly your comedy, is quite poetic, which is why you write so well, because it's the voice... Poetry and comedy both are the voice of intelligent irrationality, the great irrational spirit in human beings.
That's very good. Suddenly I see you in a different light. Do you always broadcast news like this?
It's like Woody Allen?
Now, the National Anthem, folks.
It's like Woody Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever met him? Because he mentioned you in one of his plays.
I did write to him and said I'd like to appear in one of his films.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
he gave that role to Madonna, didn't he? That was.
Didn't answer me. No.
Yeah. Do you think he got the letter?
Yes, because he said he writes to me. He said he writes to me. That's how I. Somebody said to him, "Have you ever heard of Spike Milligan?" And the answer to that was, "Why is he noisy? Can you hear him?" You know. And he said, "No, he writes to me."
Right.
Little creep. I find the profession a bit artificial. Hello, darling.
Yeah.
Spike! How great to see you again. All that, you know. I don't think it's the great warm-hearted profession that we think it is. They're all looking over each other's shoulders, hoping that they're not slipping.
They're often very bitter comics.
Yeah.
You think they're very bitter?
I tasted one. It tasted appalling.
Yeah. But what with?
With mustard, you know.
Yeah.
I always taste comics with mustard, yes.
What's the pattern of your day now?
Well, I sleep till about, I don't know why, I sleep till about 11.
Yeah, yeah.
I get up.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the day.
Right.
Me getting up. I get up in several ways. Sometimes I slide down the bed
Mm-hmm.
and just hang my feet at the end. Then I go back up again and
Mm-hmm.
roll out gently over the side.
So it takes till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon then?
But when I've had enough of that,
Mm-hmm.
I get out finally. Then I set fire to myself. And then, of course, I call my wife and she is ready with the extinguisher.
Yeah, again, he set fire to himself. Yeah.
It's either that or have a bath, you know.
Do you potter around and write or write letters? Or
No, I don't. I take exercise, enough. I do press-ups and sit-ups.
How many can you
use
do?
weights, eh?
How many press-ups?
Press-ups I do 20, and 20 curling with dumbbells.
Yeah.
This is all exciting stuff, folks. Stay tuned for further useless information. Then I have some breakfast. God, this is boring. How can this?
No, I think.
God, this is boring. How can they go on like this, folks?
It's one of the.
Switch off now, folks. While the going's good, switch off.
I think it's one of those interesting things about a person, just how they spend their day. What are you reading at the moment?
The Daily Telegraph.
Ah. Is it a recent one? Or?
It's a recent Telegraph, yeah. That's a very good line. That.
What?
It's a very good line. A recent one, that's good.
Oh,
That's how I like it, yeah.
Oh, thank you. What other British comics did you like a lot? Did you like Python, or did the rancor of the fact that they were doing something which you'd done?
They copied my Q series.
Mm.
They took quite a bit out of it as well. This is not jealousy, this is just that I feel hurt that the BBC never repeat me in the Q series, like it was a disease.
Mm.
And some of it was very, very funny. I don't understand because the crap that goes on. I sent a script up called Over the Hill, in which Eric Sykes and I are trying to get back on television.
Yeah.
And it opens up with BBC, that big place, Wood Lane, with a rope ladder up it. And when you come into this room, done up as Ben Elton. Tried to get in, and you see, the whole thing was very, very funny. It was a don't write unfunny stuff. They said, we've given it to our writers.
Oh, they do that, and writers. Well, you have to be right.
Who are these people? They don't write jokes.
Sure.
They aren't comics. They aren't performers. Who are they? Clerks.
The only good shows are writer-performer shows, I think. You know, you can't. Who are these writers? Yeah, except in America. So what did you say is Ben Elton when you'd scoured this? It sounds like a treat.
Well, I just went there as Ben Elton, and just as myself. I said, I'd like to do. I've known to be done do comedy. I said, can you do something? He said, yes, of course I can. Yes. There's an Englishman out in Scotland. I want to do all these bad jokes. I said, there you are.
Did you do them in Ben Elton's voice?
No, that's
no, just did them in your voice. All right, just dressed like him. This is a scandal that the British seem to be involved with this.
Eric,
who's Eric dressed
as I come down this rope, you see Eric Sykes going up, dressed as Tommy Cooper with this. Yes. That's how it started, you know. So anyhow, they didn't think it was funny.
Yeah, I think you'd like a lot of the stuff, like Stephen Wright. A lot of the best comedy isn't sort of being, apart from my own, getting on the telly.
Let me ask you some questions.
Robert, yeah, go on. You ask me some questions.
Are you Scottish or Celtic by descent?
No, I'm
French.
Yeah,
Italian.
Quarter French, quarter Greek Cypriot, half English. But I was adopted, so I don't know. I never met.
You were adopted.
I was adopted.
In Greece, Italy, or France?
Salvation Army Mums and Babies Home, Hackney.
In Hackney.
Yeah.
How is it trying to escape out of that lot?
Well, I was 6 weeks when I was adopted, so it was,
So it wasn't so painful. Well, did you grow up with that? You adopted good parents?
Yeah, but then my dad died when I was 9.
And has that destroyed your life?
Well, yes. Well, yes, partly, but lots of things, really.
You don't know who your real mother and father are?
No. I wrote her a letter once, and because the social worker tracked her down. Well, but no, but she didn't want to. No, I don't mean that. She just didn't want to meet up because she'd got these other children she hadn't told that she'd had me.
I find that overwhelming that could still happen to people in the 20th century, when all the primitives are gone, or living a civilized life, and there's this dreadful thing of copulating without any thought of the product of it. Very few people have a real thought for children. They know how to have them, but the thinking that you need to go for is this whole life to come. And those 15 most important years, you've got to do your very best to look after them.
It's because we live in a world of instant gratification, everything, and that's a long-term thing. I don't bear any ill will, my mum, because
Did you say you didn't see her?
No, never seen her. No. But I don't bear ill will. I'm sort of grateful for being here most of the time.
Well, it was very nice of you to come in here and, under the skies of being a comic, try and sell me that insurance policy.
But are you sure I can't interest you in it, Mr. Milligan? Because you've got maybe 10 years at the most left, and it's very, very cheap.
A pound?
But this is a pound of new money, sir.
It is.
Things to do with that.
Good heavens, it's the new money in this food. Would you like my autograph?
No, I want to come on. My picture taken with you.
That was Rob Newman talking to Spike Milligan. The programme was produced by Jane Bertou, and Chain Reaction continues its links at 9:30 every morning this week. And tomorrow you can hear Spike Milligan talking to his choice of subject, Private Eye's John Wells. This is BBC Radio 5, 9:09 and 6:93 AM, where the AM alternative starts in a few moments at the earlier time of 10 o'clock. But rest assured, you'll still be able to hear Wiggly Park at 10:25. After Johnny Walker at 12:30 this lunchtime, we start a new series here on 5, in which zoologist Adrian Barnett tracks down some surprising answers to simple questions, such as, how does a creature become itself, and what happens when mistakes are made? Meet the pig with 2 bottoms and the cat with many claws in Animal Talk this lunchtime at 12:30. Now, news of a couple of more of our programmes today on 5, starting with something this afternoon which I think has Cecil B. DeMille on its production staff.
BBC Radio 5.
Now, before we tell you what's in today's programme, a word or two from our sponsors.
I cast you out, unclean spirit.
Now, Mary, you've been listening to the programme for a good while. What do you believe in?
I believe in slime and stink and in every crawling, putrid thing, every possible ugliness and corruption, you son of a...
Mary, I just wish you'd say what you mean.
The real terror is back. The new Radio 5 Afternoon with Karen Keating and Mark Kermode.
Tonight's Champion Sport has full commentary on the London derby at Selhurst Park between Crystal Palace and Arsenal. Palace near the bottom of the Premier League, Arsenal near the top. The game sees the return of Ian Wright to his old club. The Gunners manager George Graham is also a former Palace servant. So join me, John Champion, for Champion Sport tonight from 7:30.
BBC Radio 5, daft about sport.
Now at 10 o'clock, here's Johnny Walker with the AM Alternative.
Thank you.
Very good morning to you. Welcome along. An earlier start for this week on Radio 5 at 10 o'clock. Today, the new Saturday Gladiators. A good or a bad influence on the nation's youth? Award-winning playwright John Binnick joins us. We ask, is the Family Mediation Service achieving its aims? And there's the Monday Music Quiz.